Fortnite Mobile has a serious problem and we need to talk about it. With the initial excitement and hype around the re-release of Fortnite Mobile on the iOS App Store a little over 3 weeks ago, slowly fading back down to normal levels, it has caused the community to sort of focus in on the central issue hurting and negatively affecting Fortnite Mobile's return. And of course, that issue is the optimization and performance of Fortnite on mobile devices. Now, if you've been a Fortnite Mobile player for any length of time, you'll probably understand that optimization and performance is the #1 issue we deal with as mobile players, because for us Fortnite Mobile players, we don't have the ability to simply go out and buy a better graphics card or upgrade our components of our system. Whatever device we own, the only way for us to increase our performance is literally to just go out and buy another device, which isn't really an option for 99% of mobile players, as typically the players who have gravitated towards the mobile ecosystem over the last few years are those who either don't have a console, don't like gaming on a console, or can't afford to just go out and buy a multi-$1,000 gaming PC to play Fortnite on. And so performance and optimization is really the root and success of not just Fortnite on mobile, but pretty much all mobile games. If you're not just a Fortnite mobile gaming fan, but a mobile gaming fan in general, then you'll probably know that the last few years have seen the rise and fall of multiple AAA titles due to this one issue: optimization. Most famously, Apex Legends Mobile shut down in 2023 after a year of being released due to the game never being able to get truly optimized for iOS and Android devices. If you're lucky enough to be able to play Apex Mobile on a high-end iOS device like myself, the game ran pretty fine, had a few issues here and there, but for the most part, the optimization really affected the low-end devices. And more recently, like a month ago, Warzone Mobile, who is developed by Activision and probably spent tens of millions of dollars making this game on mobile, just shut down again after being out for a year because of optimization. It is literally the thing that can make or break your mobile game. Again, for the reasons I just listed, we don't have the ability to upgrade or really tweak our device or system to get more performance out of it. And so it's up to the developer of the game to properly optimize and ensure that the performance the mobile devices can get is optimal and allows for a fun gaming experience. Over the last few weeks, I think it's become more and more apparent just how unoptimized this current version of Fortnite Mobile is. And this isn't just putting on rose-tinted glasses and thinking back, oh, optimization used to be so great back in the day and now it's so much worse. No, if you actually compare old Fortnite Mobile Chapter 2 Season 3 gameplay on iOS on, I think it was an iPad Pro 2018, so a 2-year-old tablet, I was getting pretty much a rock solid 120 FPS. I went back and dug up this gameplay you're watching, which isn't cherry picked to show how good the optimization was. Truly, if you had an iOS device, you were almost guaranteed to get like a solid 60 FPS. And if you had a tablet and iPad Pro, you're getting almost a rock solid 120, unless you're playing like super competitive lobbies with just tons of players in the in-game. And comparing that to now, where even on my iPad Pro in creative mode, I can oftentimes dip down to 70 or 60 FPS on a map that is literally designed for performance. And that's not even to mention the actual gameplay in the battle royale or reload experience, where oftentimes, again, running around the map, you get good frames, but no one really wants good performance when you're running around the map. You need good performance when you're fighting and building against PC and console players, which are our enemies right now. We no longer have mobile-only lobbies. We are going up against players that have had 5+ years to develop their skill on PC and console, where we're trying to get back into things and we're being met with these performance issues. And it's not just me that's having these issues. Pretty much any live stream, any tweet, or any Reddit thread is just filled with people asking about optimization updates. And so you know it's pretty bad when myself gaming on a 2024 iPad Pro M4, which I believe retails for close to $1,500 US, which is the price of 3 PlayStation 5s or Xboxes. It's literally insane how expensive this device costs. Can't even get a solid 120 FPS or let alone even a solid 100 FPS in build fights and edit battles this season, you know things aren't going good. And I really held off on making this video until getting the big Chapter 6 Season 3 update that just released a few days ago, because my mentality at the launch of Fortnite Mobile a few weeks ago was, man, Epic Games might have got caught really off guard with this news. Apple was dragging it out. They had to wait an extra few weeks for the game to come back on iOS, but hopefully once the new Chapter 6 Season 3 update comes out and Epic Games have had a few weeks under their belt to really sit down and optimize the game and try to get rid of some of these bugs that have been plaguing the platform for a while, that we can start to make some process and see some improvements for the performance and optimization of Fortnite Mobile on many devices. But unfortunately, this update not only seems to have not made an improvement, for some people, it has actually progressed the game backwards. I haven't noticed much of a difference in performance between the last season and this season, but some users are reporting that they used to have the option to play Fortnite Mobile at 120 FPS, and now they are limited to just 60 FPS. And to my untrained eyes, nothing big on the surface has happened. I think this is probably just a glitch, but considering that not only is the optimization and performance not being improved, some players are now playing at a lower frame rate and worse performance, it really just highlights how unfortunate of a situation this really is. Because Fortnite Mobile returning to the iOS App Store, I think everyone knew was going to be an uphill battle, meaning it's been years since this game has been out. There are still countless people who, when I talk about Fortnite or post about Fortnite being on iOS, they call me a liar. They don't know the game's back out. They don't believe me when I say that, yes, you can go to the App Store and download the game right now. And so not only is it going to be an uphill battle to get people to re-download the game that have already played it, but also introducing new players or old players back to Fortnite right now seems like a terrible idea, because the game is just in a such unoptimized state that anyone who plays the game for the first time in a while, or anyone who plays the game who has never played it before, is going to download Fortnite and just be met with a very unoptimized, very laggy, and very difficult game to play through. And the reason I highlighted Apex Mobile and Warzone Mobile at the beginning of this video was to show that even huge development studios, AAA studios that make hundreds of millions of dollars per year making games, still can have games fail on mobile for the simple fact of optimization. If Epic Games truly wants Fortnite Mobile to thrive, and I really do think Epic Games wants the game to thrive, then optimization needs to be handled. And that's kind of the reason I'm making this video, is I don't have a way to fix the game. I am just a creator. I'm just a player like all of you guys. And as much as I had some magic button I could just push and fix the game's optimization and have it run perfectly on everyone's device, that's unfortunately not the way the world works. But on top of that, I just want to publicize how important of an issue this is, because although I know us Fortnite Mobile players want to go back to feeling integrated into the Fortnite ecosystem with things like mobile tournaments and mobile exclusive events and mobile skins and all these things we used to enjoy back in the day, the thing I think we need to all focus on the most first is optimization. Because if the game can't run good on people's devices, they're just not going to play it. So it doesn't matter what tournaments you throw away, it doesn't matter what prize pools, it doesn't matter what skins are released on the platform. If optimization isn't the sole focus of Epic Games and of the Fortnite Mobile platform right now, then everything outside of that just kind of doesn't matter. And so this video was not to point fingers at anyone or to call anyone out in particular, but more just to say, hey, Fortnite Mobile has been out for a few weeks, and we all were kind of expecting some sort of optimization update or some communication or just some acknowledgement that, hey, we're working on this issue. We know the optimization is bad. We know compared to 5 years ago on newer devices, better tech, better hardware, the game is running worse, but we just don't know what's going on. There are also some other rumored ways to fix performance on Fortnite Mobile or have an improvement by slightly tweaking your settings or by making a new heads-up display with altered settings. But even then, that truly doesn't fix the root cause of the performance being low on so many devices. And like I mentioned earlier, something that I don't think a lot of us are really also considering into the whole optimization equation is we're 5 years behind. At least I am. I haven't really sat down and grinded Fortnite on a mobile device in around 5 years. Whereas everyone else that's probably playing the game has had the ability to play the game, grind the game, most likely with some pretty good performance. And so us mobile players, we need literally everything in our power to get us caught up to where everyone else is. Because if you've got a platform that's been playing for 5 years straight versus the mobile platform where, yes, we have our mechanics, we have some muscle memory, we know how to play the game, but we're not as good as we used to. You know, we've got to shake off the rust, and having performance be where it is makes that really difficult to do, because I'm in a familiar situation on mobile where I'm not sure if I'm dying because I'm bad at the game or if I'm dying because I'm lagging in every single fight that I take. So it's a very unfortunate and quite frustrating situation to be as a player. I would love nothing more than to sit down and grind the game right now, and to focus on mechanics, and to focus on ranked play, and to focus on getting my skill back where it used to be. But in most of these instances where I'm trying to take fights against skilled PC and console players, I'm just being met with performance that isn't very conducive to me practicing and training up my skills. So I've got no sort of insight or clue as to when an optimization update might come our way. It's probably going to be a very slow timeline of events from here on out. Of hopefully over the next few months we could see some substantial improvements. But as this video has been solely focused on optimization and the performance, if you guys could please down below leave a comment of your experience on Fortnite Mobile since the launch on iOS. If you could leave information like your device type, your specifications, the performance, the settings, just as much information as possible, I would love to pass this video on to Epic Games and say, hey, this is probably the biggest collection of data and information and feedback you're having that you might be able to get on the current state of the game, and just please take this information and hopefully use it to your advantage, because I don't want this video to just be a big rant with no solution. The mobile community has always done a really good job of trying to provide as much feedback as possible to help shape the overall platform. And so if you guys could leave, again, your device, your performance, anything you can think of that would help the Epic Games team versus just leaving some comment that isn't productive, it'd be very appreciative, and I'd be very grateful for you all. And again, I'll pass this video on to Epic Games. So as always, gamers, it's been your boy DuckyTheGamer, and I'll catch you on the next one. Deuces.